USA is a global premium sports brand that's built around innovation and performance across categories like cycling, winter sports, and running, as well as motorsports here in the US. What makes us unique is the combination of engineering, design, and brand. So hiring isn't just about the skills, it's about mindset and culture alignment. I'm the Director of People and Culture here at Scott. I oversee talent acquisition as part of a broader mandate around building high-performing and aligned teams. Before Zeeda, our screening process was quite recruiter-led and very manual. So we relied very heavily on cover letter reviews, initial calls, and a lot of reliance on the individual's judgment. At the leadership level, for me, the frustration wasn't just time, it was consistency and visibility. And each time I have a different hiring manager, the prioritization is slightly different and signals things to change, that we have to ensure we're always identifying the best candidates, not just the most obvious ones. So there was a lot of constant concern about what we were missing, whether it was, people who are just in love with the brand, people who have experience in the divisions we support like cycling, but non-traditional profiles. I was exploring ways to bring more structure and intelligence into the early stage of screening, particularly as we're scaling across the states and growing the business out of the COVID funk that I think everyone has experienced. My main skepticism was around the nuance, whether AI could really understand what good looks like in a company like ours, where cultural fit, adaptability, and mindset really matter. I also wanted to see whether it could meaningfully improve the outcomes, not just my efficiency. For our recent experience agent role, the difference was pretty noticeable right away. In the past, getting to a strong shortlist would take us months, largely due to the manual screening and back and forth alignment. With Zeeda, we reduced that timeline quite significantly and got a shortlist much faster, in a way that we were actually able to recruit 2 people when we only initially wanted to recruit 1. So more importantly, the quality was more consistent. The candidates presented better aligned with what we were actually looking for, and it meant fewer drop-offs later in the process and more productive hiring conversations. Yeah, particularly candidates with nonlinear backgrounds is what we wouldn't have seen otherwise. Zeeda highlighted profiles that didn't immediately stand out on a cover letter, but had strong underlying indicators of success. So from a people and culture perspective, it's more important because it helps us build diverse, adaptable teams rather than defaulting to the same profiles every time. AI in screening is becoming a pretty practical advantage, especially in terms of speed and consistency amongst small teams like mine. What I think is most important to implement, make sure you're doing it thoughtfully, treat it as a support tool, validate the outputs, and make sure it aligns with how you define quality, but don't make it as your final decision. You can't replace the personal aspect with AI, but it definitely speeds up the process. I'd probably tell them it's really valuable in the early stages in screening, the identifying of patterns and reducing the manual workload. The one downfall I found was we did have a few candidates who weren't comfortable with AI, but allowing them to back out and still remaining capable of providing that human element was very valuable. So if I saw that a candidate wasn't comfortable, I would just reach out to them and conduct the interview like I would normally do. Zeeda's helped bring more consistency and speed into our screening process while also surfacing candidates we might not have considered otherwise. It's really strengthened the quality of our early stage hiring process and the decisions we're making, while simultaneously reducing the manual effort needed to get there. So for us here at Scott and me being a one-man team, that was vital in implementing Zeeda.